one of my other favorite ones on the list, and I just mentioned it earlier, but it involves the same beef, is the F with Dre Day. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, Death Row's in a motherfucking house. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, the sounds of a dog take me to another day. Play with my bone, would you, Timmy? It seemed like you're good for making jokes about your Jimmy. So he was talking about Tim Dog. That's why he said Timmy. That was when Tim Dog had that song called F Compton. I did a whole show on that. I'd have a couple clips on my channel of the whole Tim Dog versus Compton situation. So if you're feeling bored one day and you want to jump into that, type in Dusty Vision Tim Dog and you should be able to find that. But that was an interesting time. You know, Tim Dog decided one day to create a song called F Compton.
I decided to do a demo called Compton, you know, to show everybody, you know, how I feel about them, you know, because it seemed like the whole world was on their well, I don't know, you know, because they obviously was lying to everybody, you know, and they was perpetrating the fraud. And where I'm from, when you do that, you get beat down.
That didn't sit too well with a lot of people in Compton, and Dre being from Compton, he has to put him in one of his, arguably his biggest songs. After G Thing, I would think F with Dre Day is probably Dre's biggest song, right? Let Me Ride would be up there too, but I really feel like, yeah, that F with Dre Day, I think that's probably, after G Thing, that has to be his biggest song. So for Tim Dog to be immortalized in that song is very interesting. They, of course, dissed Easy. One person they also dissed was Luke from 2 Live Crew. And I've talked about this before. I actually have a couple of videos on my channel. If you type in Dusty Vision 2 Live Crew or Dusty Vision 2 Live Crew, I'm sure you'll be able to find it. So make a note to check that out after this show.
And the crazy part of Jack the Rapper I talk about in the book was when we had the big fight with Snoop Dogg them in Death Row. Yeah. You know, when we had the little beef going on, and then they eventually came down to Jack the Rapper. I tried to talk to Jack and his wife, not his wife, but daughter Jill, and say, look, you need to arrange a sit down with me and Suge Knight, because if they gonna come down here, you know, there's so many people from Miami. I got so much love in Atlanta. It's gonna be an ugly sight. Yeah. You know, because we got this beef, and they saying this about me, and I'm saying this about them. It's gonna get crazy. And they were like, oh, we ain't gotta worry about that. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. And then before you know it, everybody was stabbed up, cut up. Everything in the world was thrown out the rooms, all down. It was crazy. It was a melee.
Death Row and some members of Death Row, I should say, and Luke's crew ended up meeting and crossing paths a couple times, but one time specifically, I do believe it was Atlanta. And from all accounts, the Death Row guys didn't, didn't come out on top.
Yeah, we'll sit you down.
You see what I'm saying?
We'll touch you up and sit you down. You know, and that was the whole thing. I mean, you know, me and Snoop, you know, I don't want nobody to get me and Snoop, we cool. I met Dr. Dre one time. Easy and Cube. Them was my dudes. Going back to the, you know, to that whole beef thing, you know, when I talk about it, it's like the whole South rise up. When some dudes say something about a Southern guy. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And especially, you know, people on the street knew the history. Exactly. They knew what I was doing in Atlanta, Miami, you know, Charlotte, Fayetteville, South Carolina. They knew, okay, Unc is that guy. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know, the Lil Petey Pablos and everybody of the world and the Gips and all them, man. Okay, man, this man turning this thing up for us. You know, so guys on the street already know. Hold on, man. So then when the dudes came down here, it was an ugly sight. I think the whole South jumped on this. You know, they were catching planes at the late night trying to get up out of this place here. But we ended up eventually squashing it because, you know, it was like, okay, you know, hey, you know, Suge, I'm not one of them guys who you roughhouse.
Yeah, because, you know, down south, Luke, and they love Luke in Atlanta, boy. They be shaking their booty to Luke in Atlanta. So, you know, for these guys to diss their beloved Luke, and I do believe it's because Luke dissed them first for some reason, and Luke even doesn't even remember. I was listening to an interview with him. He's like, I don't remember why I dissed him. I just dissed him. And then, okay, so Dre has to come back. And then they released a song called Cowards in Compton.
Well, you know, we did the record. They did that before Faking Like Gangster. So then when Dre and them came back, when it was time for Cowards in Compton, I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't even part of it because I was like, Now y'all gonna have that right there. But Luke paid me that money, so I represent it.
Yes, that was an interesting time in hip hop, man. Very interesting time, and a lot of these beefs, they breed really good music. I mean, competition breeds great music, right? Let's see, what is another one of my favorites? And before we continue, I'm gonna ask you guys to give me your picks. Comment down below. Do you agree with my picks so far? You know, so far I've said what? The whole Bridge Wars, The Bridge is Over, you know, South Bronx, I love both of those. I talked about Real Mother F&G's, Eazy-E. I talked about Corrupt's Calling Out Names. I mean, come on. That Fred Wreck track, Record Haters by E40. Talked about that one. We talked about F with Dre Day.
I'm at a crossroads every damn day. Looking
very
back
good one.
When I sleep.
Let's talk about a couple more of my favorites.
Iniquity down to my feet. What do I do when I need a little food and I gotta get the money for the rent? Fall to my knees, pray to the Lord. Come on, son, he can give me some money, repent. What? Thank you. I really love you, baby, so I spank you. Life is a west straight fucking you up. Living in a prison, I'ma shank you. So what's love got to do with it? With my heart on my sleeve, I'm a foe. But she said she loved me, she wanted to hug me under my sheets, so it's get told.
And I spy with my little mind's eye, dreams that'll be beyond what you can see in daylight. Baby, ignore the rain, and everything gon' be okay. And while the world burns, I'll be near the skyline, and I'll be biding my time till I can ride the wave. Then everything gon' be okay. Yeah. What are the chances? You're picking a flight, we're leaving tonight. Pack up your bags, we're leaving this place and this baggage. Cause what can we do while Rome is collapsing? But not in the day, we'll be okay. Let's hit the off your Jackson. Or pull up the map then, cause I'm through keeping up with these Joneses. Don't care what they're posting. You know, you only see what they show you. Let's fall off the grid then, cause we don't owe nothing to no one. Darling, just listen, it'll be just like starting over. And I spy with my little mind's eye, dreams that'll be beyond what you can see in daylight. Baby, ignore the rain, and everything gon' be okay. And while the world burns, I'll be near the skyline, and I'll be biding my time till I can ride the wave. Then everything gon' be okay.
I don't even know why I'm here. Wanna be on a beach somewhere, feet kicked up in my chair, smoke all up in the air, clouds are looking lovely. My girl is by my